Hi, I'm Jason Graham. I'm a broadcast engineer for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And in addition to my job here at the church, I do a little bit of freelance work on the side, mainly in the classical recording realm. One of the groups that I've worked quite a bit with is the Millennial Choirs and Orchestras group. I've done work for them for a number of years and used Royer microphones for the most part in the past 2 or 3 recordings that I've done with them to help me build the sound design that I'm looking for. A few years back, we did a recording out in the Strathmore Center out in Washington, D.C., and we captured a wonderful, wonderful recording out there. The conductors of this group are huge on capturing the vibe of the hall. This was actually my first foray into using quite a bit more Royer microphones, especially on the choir and orchestra to capture their overall sound, and they worked great. I loved the sound, the directors loved the sound, and it's become the standard for how I've done their sound design for future albums. But on this specific album, we used 5 Royers on the choir. There was an SF2 on the sopranos and basses, and then actually SF1s on the altos and tenors, and then in the center I had another microphone to just kind of capture the overall sound of the choir. In the orchestra, and this has been the money for me, is in the orchestra I had 3 SF24s that sat over on the violin side, in the center right in front of the conductor, and then over on the right-hand side for the cellos and basses. And had them up pretty high, and it captured just a beautiful overall sound of the orchestra. And obviously I'm filling in with a few other microphones here and there. That was my basic setup for the DC recording, and like I said, it's become this standard that the directors are just like, yeah, go for that, because that's the sound we want. It's capturing the hall, it's capturing that vibe, and it's giving us just a beautiful organic sound of the choir and orchestra. I've loved this setup. It's been a wonderful sound that I've been able to give to this organization for their albums. Since this recording back in 2017, we've recorded another album. We've got another album that's up and coming, and looking forward to another beautiful sound with these Royer microphones. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how we're using Royer microphones and Royer products here at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They've really helped us a long way, and we kind of have a little bit of a history here. John offered to come out and do his Royer 101 class with us. We had a blast. We brought out a whole pile of Royer microphones and just put them up on everything and listened, and it was a wonderful party, for lack of a better word. Since then, we've just built a great relationship and continued to implement Royer microphones here in our sound design for the choir. One thing that we've really loved about Royer microphones is the fact that it's such an organic sound. I mean, you're dealing with the human voice here. I don't think there's a more delicate instrument with so many different nuances that you want to pick up. And when we tried Royer microphones on the choir and the orchestra, man, they've really shined for us. Royer a few years ago came out with their D booster, and I mentioned we're using Beyer 160s and 260s, and we just called up John. We're like, hey, can we try out these D boosters? And so he sent us out a pair, and we tried them on our flutes. Now we have 10 more of them, because now they're on our whole woodwind section. They've just really made that Beyer dynamic microphone just shine. How we're using Royer microphones right now, we've got actually a 121 on a harp, which most people think they belong on a guitar cab, but you should try it on harp. It's pretty good on harp. We have a pair of R122Vs, kind of capturing an overall string sound of our orchestra. We have 4 SF2s hanging above our choir loft, and we've just loved the big sound that we get from the choir from those microphones. In our hall for our surrounds, especially over in the big hall, you go into that place and it's humongous, just a huge room, 21,000 seats. And in addition to that, there's this pipe organ that's just massive. And the kind of sound pressure level that thing puts out is huge. We've struggled for years to find a microphone that we could use for our surround that wouldn't explode when that organ is just cranking out the sound. And the moment we put in that SF24V, problem solved. It's been a great microphone for that. And that SF24V, it's always being used. It's hung. It's a permanent mount in our sound design for the choir over in the conference center. Big thanks to Royer. They've been such a great partner in helping us create the sound design that we want. We look forward to many more years working with Royer and finding out what more we can do.